Fever down! Bow!
Man, I think it's the next step up mentality as far as players. Our shifts keep changing. Everybody doing a different role, and so I think we all got the mentality where you give and you sacrifice, and I think that's what y'all see.
Without Caitlin Clark on the court against a Dallas Wings team eager for an upset and fresh off a crushing defeat to the Sparks the night before, everything seemed doomed. The 49-person crowd arrived expecting to see Clark play Paige Bueckers for the first time in the WNBA, but instead they witnessed something even more amazing. What transpired in those final minutes will forever alter your perception of this Fever team, and Aliyah Boston's 6 words following the game perfectly encapsulated why this victory is so important. If you agree with the Fever comment, I've got the Fever down below, let's go.
Yeah, I think for us, it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs, and they made their run in that third quarter, and honestly, just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working on, and so for us, that was our focus, is get a stop, go down and score, get another stop, and we try to get a kill.
Imagine this huge buildup that had the entire WNBA community talking about Clark versus Bueckers, the #1 pick from 2024 against the top pick from 2025. This wasn't just any regular season game. Everyone had been anticipating this matchup since draft night. The Dallas Wings knew they had something special in the works, so they made the big decision to move the game from their usual home at College Park Center to the massive American Airlines Center, where the Mavericks play. Take a moment to consider that you don't just move a game to a 20,000-seat arena unless you know something important is about to happen. Fans began purchasing tickets in droves, and social media was ablaze with excitement. This was going to be the match that broke attendance records and demonstrated to the world the progress made by women's basketball.
Finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today, it really is a day-to-day thing. And I think for us, making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness. Anybody who's had some of these types of injuries understand that sometimes it's a process. She's a quick healer, and she's been doing everything that she can to get back on the floor. So, we just want to make sure that we're hypersensitive to the big picture.
The season's most anticipated matchup abruptly becomes a huge question mark when Clark's groin injury flares up 2 nights prior to the game. Thousands of fans purchased tickets expressly to watch these two face off, and now the primary attraction may not even play.
I feel a disappointment for them more than anything, because you want them to see her at her best and us at our best. I hate that for fans, but at the same time, again for us as a team, and for Caitlin as a person and player, her health and wellness is the priority.
However, the fact that the Los Angeles Sparks had just completely destroyed the team the night before made the situation even more dire. Without their star leading the show, the team looked completely lost, the pace was slow, and the ball movement was awful. When Clark wasn't on the court, everything that makes Indiana dangerous basically went apart, and Aliyah Boston hardly received any touches.
I think the biggest thing for us is our attention to detail in our screening. We've got to be great screeners. We got to make sure we slow down and use our screen, and our spacing. We've had some games where our spacing has been poor, and that has not allowed Kelsey to get downhill, and it hasn't allowed space for Aliyah to get going either. So I think that the 2 most important things for us right now offensively is attention to detail and screening and spacing.
When the Fever play without Clark, Dallas was licking their chops and knew exactly what happens. The offense becomes predictable, Boston is forgotten about, and the entire system collapses. This seemed like the ideal chance for the Wings to make a statement against a wounded team that had been having trouble, but this is what no one anticipated. They set a new Texas women's basketball attendance record without even guaranteeing that the main attraction would take the court. Consider what that says about the strength of this rivalry and the development of women's basketball. Even though Clark was not confirmed to play, 49 people showed up.
We'll start Ari today. We'll start her and bring Sid off the bench a little bit. I don't want to take Kelsey out of what she naturally does instinctually on the wing and overload her from a point guard perspective. So with having Ari and having Sid, they'll give us a couple different looks right there.
Coach Stephanie White surprised everyone by starting Ari McDonald for the first time. completely altering the lineup that everyone had anticipated, and no one knew what to anticipate from this new look when the Wings entered that game believing they had a wounded animal surrounded. The situation was set for either a total catastrophe or something truly amazing. And what transpired next would disclose something about this hot team that even its closest supporters were unaware existed. The Fever don't just survive without Clark on the court. They utterly blow up right out of the gate as the first quarter begins. Ari McDonald delivers intensity that nobody saw coming. She's accelerating the pace as if her life depended on it.
Charles can't finish.
Gotta finish that.
Oh, beautiful pass. McDonald counted in one.
Run.
She is involving everyone in ways that will cause you to forget. Clark enters the game not even participating in Dallas, believing that their only strategy is to stop Kelsey Mitchell. Close Mitchell and watch the Fever go away, but all of a sudden they're facing McDonald's downward attack, for which they weren't prepared. She's causing total mayhem for the Wings defense and opening lanes that haven't been there all season.
Can't finish.
As a big, you gotta lean in. You can't be falling away.
McDonald has been outstanding.
This is what makes it even more incredible. McDonald makes flawless field goals in the first quarter, not just making baskets but also executing deft plays that open doors for everyone else. It is rare to witness such execution, but the Fever begin the game by making their first 7 consecutive shots.
Inside, can't get it. Lee Yu-Ru can't. Here comes Natasha Howard. 9-0 run for Indiana. Lexi Hull carries the three. You gotta get out on her, ladies. She's shooting 51% from beyond the arc.
Aliyah the Wings must pay attention to McDonald's speed because it gives Boston more space to operate down low, where she scores quickly and grabs rebounds like she's been waiting for this entire season. Boston is finally starting to get the touches she sorely needs, and you can actually see her confidence growing with each possession as she puts the ball in positions where she can cause damage.
Shooting to open the game. The Wings are only 2 of 14. Howard lobs it inside Boston, and Maisha Hines-Allen got lost. Allowed for the easy 2.
And you down to Natasha, and she's going to get in the paint. And so the defense has to step up to protect the drive, and now she puts that air on the ball, and AB is able to finish that shot at the rim. That was beautiful.
The audience who came to watch Clark take on Beckers is seeing something entirely different. They're seeing a team realize their potential when everyone pitches in together. By the end of the first quarter, 5 players are working as a single unit rather than just one. Let that sink in for a moment. Indiana leads 33-13. They outscored Dallas by 20 points in 12 minutes, and even the Dallas supporters are getting up to cheer the basketball game. You don't often see that kind of respect from the other team's supporters.
This is what they do. Yep. Sometimes you're going to have some back-to-back games. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get in the gym and practice. You got it.
Huh.
Good night.
And again, the veteran schools the rookie.
Kelly Mitchell begins to heat up during the stretch, but she isn't forcing anything. Instead, the ball movement is making it easier for everyone on the court to look good. Mitchell scores 10 points in the first quarter alone, but she does it while staying in line with the offensive flow. This wasn't just about replacing Clark's output on the scoreboard. It was also about the Fever realizing what they could become as a team when everyone worked together. The groundwork was laid for something genuinely exceptional, but the real test was still to come. This is where the story really takes off. You can feel the momentum shifting in a way that unnerves Fever supporters as Dallas begins to come back hard, and then the comfortable lead quickly narrows as the Wings figure out how to attack the defense and start making shots that were absent in the first quarter. Paige Beckers starts to put on an incredible display. She scores 27 points and creates WNBA history with a flawless stat line that leaves everyone speechless. Dropping Beckers makes history as the first player to score 25 points. 5 assists and 2 steals, 1 game with 2 blocks and no turnovers is the type of play that wins games and transforms careers.
Paige is just such a smart player. She reads defensive well. She knows how to pick you apart. And so when you play against her, you have to make sure that you're aware of where she is at all times. And also she does a great job of putting her teammates in great position. So for us, I feel like it's kind of similar in college and in the league. Like Paige is just playing great basketball and making sure that she sets up her teammates for the same.
Without Clark on the court, The pace slows down, the ball stops flowing, players start pressing, and poor mistakes are made. This is precisely where the fever usually goes away when the Wings trim the margin to single digits. Everything that went wrong against the Sparks the night before begins to resurface during the game, but Kelsey Mitchell doesn't let it get away from her. She enters full takeover mode and makes Clark proud with shots that would make him proud. Mitchell scores 32 points, dish out 7 assists, and makes 11 of 17 field goals. More significantly, she consistently makes the right play down the court, creating opportunities for her teammates while controlling the offense.
Every little thing matters.
Mitchell gives it up. Natasha Howard, beautiful shot. Howard with a double-double of 12 and 11. Indiana by...
In crucial situations, Aliyah Boston excels. She makes defensive stops when they are absolutely necessary and pulls down rebounds to keep possessions alive. Boston finishes with 21 points on 9 of 14 shots, including all 3 of her free throws. The crowd is going crazy as she performs all the small tasks that championship teams require of their star players. They are witnessing 2 teams that will not back down and trade big shots like in a heavyweight fight, with neither team willing to give an inch. The atmosphere in that arena is electrifying in a way that only occurs during special games.
Incoming! In! Yo, great job. Okay, great job. We weathered a storm. We found some toughness in the fourth quarter to be able to get stops and to execute, right? We grew tonight. I mean, it really, everybody just good stuff, okay? Good stuff all around. I mean, that's a big time win for us on a back-to-back at the end of a tough road trip, so good stuff.
Hey, one more. Coach's 100th.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3.
With just a few minutes remaining, Boston glances at the Fever supporters strewn throughout the arena. You can see something click in her eyes. She would go on to say that every game is a home game because the Fever jerseys are all over the place, generating energy that moves with the team. When it counts most, Mitchell and Boston's combined last-ditch effort to seal the 94-86 victory demonstrates that this club has championship-level heart. Mitchell is in charge of the fourth quarter and executes every play the Fever needs to win, according to Aliyah Boston approaches the microphone and says 6 words that encapsulate the events of the previous moment. Reporters want to know how the Fever handled the strain of playing without Clark and how they managed to pull off this amazing victory over a Dallas club that had every reason to think they would win handily. With his eyes fixed on the camera, Boston declares, "Every game is a home game." Everything that transpired in that stadium, the enthusiasm, the confidence, and the way the squad performed as though they belonged on that stage suddenly made sense when those 6 words struck a different note.
There were a lot of Fever fans today at the game. What does it mean to you to just have their presence with you wherever you go?
Every game is a home game. I think you see that. People show up, they show out. I think it's great for this league, just people continuing to come to games and watch, because I think when people show up to watch a game, they might have came for one person, but they leave liking many more. And so I think that's the way you look at it, right? You've had this arena that's filled and people are coming in, they're like, whoa, I like her, she's tough. And so I think it's just great for the game.
She describes how it wasn't just about winning without Clark on the court. It was also about demonstrating that the bond between this team and its supporters goes deeper than any one player. Fever fans travel everywhere they go and create that energy, no matter what arena they're playing in. During the game, you could see it through the Fever jerseys strewn throughout the crowd, the louder cheers every time Indiana made a big play, and the standing ovations that came from sections of the crowd that traveled from Indiana just to support their team. Boston discusses how fans may initially attend to see Clark, but end up loving the entire team. That's exactly what happened to the 49 people who came. They thought they would see Clark play Beckers for the first time, but instead they saw something even more memorable than the game they had come to see. They saw a team find its identity. They saw players step up when their star needed them most. They experienced the kind of basketball that makes fans stick with you for life.
I take pride in wanting to see people I've never seen before. So when you see different players that you know admire and they want to support us, it's kind of like, oh man, they actually take heed to what we do and what we bring to the table as a league. Like she said, you kind of like appreciate the fact that people want to watch us play, and it kind of brings confidence to the game, so to speak. So it's a really good thing.
In her own interview, Kelsey Mitchell reflects this notion, describing how the team's confidence increases upon seeing those Fever shirts in the stands. These 6 words became the rallying cry that demonstrated that this team's identity extends well beyond their superstar. Mitchell says that the team's ability to overcome obstacles and create opportunities becomes easier because of that support. It also creates this positive feedback loop where the players give the fans something to cheer about and the fans energize the players. It's about a bond between family members that cannot be severed by hardships or injuries. It concerns supporters who think that there is more to the game than just one player. Boston's remarks encapsulated a powerful aspect of this franchise's development. When your supporters travel far and wide to give you a home court advantage wherever you play, you've created something unique that transcends wins and losses.
Did you kind of feel a sense of urgency there that the team responded to, I guess?
Great use of the word urgency. That's honestly been the topic of conversation for us, is making sure that we have a sense of urgency on the offensive end, on the defensive end. And once again, leads did slip away in this game and last game, but for us it's about making sure that we turn that page, we get back the lead, we keep it, we get big defensive stops. And you understand, once again, it's a game of runs and you just have to make sure that you have the best one at the end.
In addition to defeating Dallas, this victory helped the Fever realize they were destined for something greater in 2025 and beyond. They improved their record to 8 wins and 8 losses and finished 3rd in the Eastern Conference, 2 games behind Atlanta and 4 behind New York. When Clark returns healthy, she will be joining a team that has shown they can step up when it counts most, which makes them dangerous. The future appears bright because they've created something unstoppable. If you support the Fever, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss it. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next game. The Commissioner's Cup Championship game against Minnesota is coming up, followed by a 5-game homestand in Indianapolis.